gonna speak on what constitutes a street ninja. Well, a lot of people think a street ninja is a person putting in work, a person slanging and banging, a person that's robbing, killing, unaliving people, a person that's a shooter. Those some of the things people mention when they think a street individual or a gang banger. But when I say a street individual is anybody who grew up in any neighborhood, because you doing something that's wrong don't mean you're a street individual. Because you can have a person that work in corporate America and be from the projects that you from, because you choose to run around and do a criminality, and this man choose to be educated, don't mean anything. So y'all still from the same environments. He just took another route that he didn't want to be on the streets. See, it's different being a street individual and growing up in them environment or being on the streets. See, a white dude don't want to be out there. So if a person come in here with a certain tie, like I said, he can be on my same block. We might even have the same parents, and one can be a doctor and one can be a criminal. You look at the movie about Whitey Bulger. Whitey Bulger was a criminal, right? But his brother ended up running for district attorney, was a senator or something like that. So it's all depend what levels you want to go to. I still can be a street dude and be educated. I still can be a street dude and be a fighter. I still can be a street dude and know the traps and triggers of the street. Or you can be a street dude and be caught up. So you want to be able to maneuver, because one thing about the streets, how long do you think the streets gonna last? Everybody have an end date when they out there really in that life. See, most of the time you hear about people being unalive and being killed, it's not because an accident. Most of the time called they in drama, especially when you see it in inner city. Most of the time it be because of a beef. Some of the beef over the drug culture, some over territory, some over women, some over money. But most of the time people being unalive because they can't leave them activity alone. Because you can be a street individual and live in the same communities that anybody else and never have no problem. Because I can be in, we're going to say the Red Hook Projects in New York and never get in any problem, never join a gang, never have a shooter, never get shot. Don't have nobody in my family get on line. We just happen to be born and raised in that community. But when people born and raised in that community and take steps to another level and become what that community bred you to be, then when you have the problems. You want to be go outside of that mindset. You don't want to be bred for destruction. Okay. You don't want to be bred for destruction, because being bred for destruction, it destroys a lot of things. And a lot of people can't get over that hump. A lot of people can't get over that hump. And I always tell people that the worst thing you're going to do, you want to be labeled that. You don't want society to label you that. You want society to say, man, this individual was trying to grow. This individual was trying to be great. This individual had goals. You don't want that shit be out there like, man, dude, a street dude, she's a street person. This girl selling pussy, this dude hustling, this guy unaliving people, she's setting people up for they can get back door. It's crazy with some of the shit that we glamorize. Why people just don't want to be great no more? It's a shame when a young man or a young woman might come into the shop and I would praise them for just being nice. Or I would praise them for trying to have a job. Or I would praise them for just being overall just a good person. And then you got other motherfuckers coming, you can't praise them because you see the pattern, you see the role they going down. You see their leadership, the leadership of their mother and father, you see how they act, how they conduct themselves. So you know most likely the child gonna be just like their mother and father. Or some can get over the hump, but most can't, because if that's all they know, it's fucked up, because it's a disservice to that child that their parents didn't mold them to be a better person because they wasn't a better person. So it's bad when you go to certain places, you only get certain kids a problem. Say, man, this is a great individual. This individual gonna be set up for success. I like when I see little kids coming here that act like Carlton, that act like the Nerds, that act like the Bill Cosby. I don't want to see another kid come here being a street dude, dressing like he's ready to go to the hood. Why we can't dress our kids for success? Why we can't talk greatness to our kids? Why we can't talk to our kids, tell our kids to walk away? That's the hardest thing to do for a motherfucking man to walk away from a bad situation. It's easy for me to lash out because I didn't did it. But the harder thing for me now is to walk away. That when I know growth is better. So we got to start teaching our kids how to diffuse stuff, how to walk away from fucked up situations, or you can be unalive in prison the rest of your life. And that's a real man when you can really walk away from certain situations. You don't have to respond to say, okay, you got that, bro. I love you, man. Keep it moving. And I know it's hard. It's hard. It's a work of art. It's really hard to do that, but hey, that's what you got to do nowadays. Or you don't want to put yourself in a situation where people gonna be crying on your casket for having out. Then they gonna go somewhere, everybody gonna get together and go drink and smoke, and they ain't gonna think about your ass no more. They gonna be flirting with the girls that came and see you. So like I said, man, raise your kids right, stay out of people's way, and stop worrying about what people think about you, man. And always be positive. If you grew up in a bad environment, you don't have to end your life in a bad environment. Everybody had the right to live in the Beverly Hills. Everybody had the right to live in the Brookhaven, the Buckheads. Everybody had the right to live in the Galleria districts in Houston. You had the right to live anywhere you want. You don't have to stay in a depressed area because that's where your family started at. You should want to be greater than what they started you with. Peace out, O's.